Here's one towards the goal. That's going to be gloved by Travis Ridgen. Well, this is more like it.
This is Slangin The Bizkit. Here's Travis Ridgen and Dave Wheeler.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Slangin The Bizkit. This week's show is presented by Jeremy's Razors. More on them later. What a time of year to be together. Beautiful weather out. We're in the prairies. Lots of blue-collar people. We just got a fresh dusting of snow. Looks like a winter wonderland. Home to see my mom. Home to see you. I'm happy.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I mentioned this to you off the air, but I think you like coming back and going, oh, yeah, this is a prairie winter, getting that bite of minus 40 with the wind chill, which we've had here over the past week. The temperatures are a little more palatable now, but I got to mention another YouTuber. His name's Karl Watson. He's out of the UK. He is a film documentarist, and he just moved here to Winnipeg because he met a girl while traveling. She happened to be here from Winnipeg, and so this is his first winter. And we got our first big dump of snow a couple weeks ago. And he went outside and he was like, it's a winter wonderland out here. It's brilliant. I'm going to tell all my friends back in the UK. And brought his dog out and whatnot. He sent me videos like, it's so magical out here. And I said, yeah, call me in February. Call me in February when you've been in this for 2 months. You're like, all right, I've quite had enough of this.
Was that minus 30 when you were saying that?
Yeah, well, I think we were probably hovering around minus 15 when the big dump came and then the deep freeze came in. And no, He's new to it, but anyways, Karl Watson is his name, and he's a fantastic documentarist. Actually, you and him would probably have a lot to talk about as far as the travel and whatnot. He does a great job in all. He goes all around the world, Thailand and Tibet and New Zealand and all over the place. It's great.
He's a good-looking guy too.
Handsome devil.
Big shoulders,
yeah.
Big jawline.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
English lad.
He is. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, Karl Watson. Karl with a K. Karl Watson, and he does travel documentaries.
Back in the city, back home.
Well, you got mom here, you got family and friends here. We get to be in studio together, which is a nice change.
And hot take, there's something nice about that minus 30 weather. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's freezing cold, it's bitter, it hurts to breathe, but it's so beautiful because you won't get any bluer skies than when it's minus 30. You get those sun dogs, little rainbows coming around the sun.
I had to explain that to him. He's like, sun dog, what do you mean? And I said, the air gets cold enough that there's a ring that goes around the sun, and you almost get like these rainbow, like a lens flare on all sides of the sun. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
And you can only see it in climates like this in the middle of the prairies.
Shout out to all the people in the prairies, whether you're in Dave's favorite city of Regina, Saskatoon, a hidden gem, blue-collar people of Edmonton, the white-collar people of Calgary, or here on the prairies. We appreciate you, and this is who the show's for every single week. But
happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Yeah, we got the Christmas special coming up next week. We got the New Year's special as well after that, and we got a lot of really good stuff coming up. But why don't we get into the main headliner for today?
Yeah, which fight do you want to talk about?
We'll start with my fight.
Yeah.
We'll do the ECHL fight of the year. We'll do the Biz Nasty fight, and then we got a couple other scraps. We got a lot of really good stuff today. But first goalie fight in my career.
Well, listen, the holidays includes Boxing Day, so we might as well warm up with a little hockey boxing.
You know, the deals aren't as good as they used to be, and the World Juniors aren't the same as what they used to be either, so might as well take it on the ice for Boxing Day, right?
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later, too. But yeah, okay, so listen, for those that don't know, and I love this about Trav, if you watch his Trav 4 channel, which is basically the behind-the-scenes look at you in your journey throughout hockey, is when you're warming up, if you have access to the other team's goaltender, more often than not, you'll ask him like, hey, something goes down, you want to meet at center ice? And then you kind of dictate how the game's going to go based on their answer.
Well, usually it's, are you starting? Yes or no? How you feeling? I like the pads. Beautiful mask. Wish you the best of luck. Quick little glove tap. That's usually very traditional. I like to ask guys, though, if someone goes south, something goes wrong, would you like to go? I haven't had a goalie fight in my career. I fought 3 players, never been touching either of them, or any of the 3. But do you want to go? And most of the time, guys will say, I'm okay, I'm not really interested. I've never had anybody say yes. But for some reason, the gentleman on the other end of the ice, I asked him, would you like to go? He said, yeah, I would definitely be down if the setting is right. And now, shout out to this guy, because this guy ponying up a huge set. He's a small guy, maybe 5'8", 5'9", on a good day if you stretch him out a bit. And he said, let's do it. Okay, cool. We play the game. And he wasn't even starting. He actually ended up backing up. They changed goalies. We go up 4-1. They changed goalies. Second period, they had a fight down at the other end. One of our guys absolutely KO'd one of their guys. By the way, this guy is a BJJ purple belt.
Ooh.
He's deadly. Does Muay Thai. He's a big dude, too. He's benching like 375 or 6 reps. He's a big boy. You don't
Wrong guy to tangle with.
I remember, well, he's not a great skater. Shout out to Scotty, because we carpool a lot to the games. Not a great skater. And I think,
who is he, Doug Glatt?
Honestly, he is basically Doug the Thug for a team. And I saw him kind of tangled up with the one guy, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, dude, you don't do that. Don't do it. And then before he even knew it, Scotty got the gloves off. Boom, give him 3. He was out cold, and then he did a quick dust off his hands, unbuckle the chin strap. See you later. I'm going to go to the penalty box. And so this is all happening. There's another pair of guys dangling at center ice, and they're kind of like a BJJ, like rolling. It was kind of like. So I saw the other goalie at the other end. I thought, you know what? It's 7-1. I'm ready for a coffee. Let's go for a break. Let's go. And so I start skating, wave my stick up. Hey, you interested?
You said.
It's kind of like on the Titanic. Is there anyone alive out there? So as I started skating down, I wave him, and he kind of gives me the I don't know. So I thought, well, okay, I'm going to see if I can go a little bit more forward and kind of like pressure him into it, because once their team sees me at center, you can't just go back to your net.
Right.
And so I started shaking the hands. He dropped the stick. I said, okay, it's on like Donkey Kong. And so drop the gloves, take the helmet off. Very respectable too. This isn't like we hate each other, we want to hurt each other. Mm-hmm. Drop the gloves off. You ready to go? Yep, I'm ready. And then right into the action. I grabbed his jersey. I started going, and obviously if you're on the video version of the show, you can see the video version. But
yeah, as soon as you got a hold of him, like your hand was cocked and ready to go. And I think you missed on the first 2 or 3. You came over with a couple of haymakers, and then you started kind of going with the jabs. I think you landed a few there. And it's the thing I hate most about hockey fights is he who lands on top wins fight. And so if anyone saw the end of that fight, they would see him landing on top of you going, oh, the little guy won the fight. I don't think he threw a punch.
No, he didn't throw a punch.
Like, not once. Like, he was on full defense just going, I hope I land on top.
I just hope I make it out of here alive.
Yeah, but hey, give him full kudos. I don't take anything away from him. He stood in there. He landed on top. If there was a stat sheet for that, he landed on top. So I would say he won that fight. Well, I wouldn't say he won that fight. I think your percentage was a lot higher than his. He went 0 for 0. You went about 2 for 8.
You got to give him a couple points, though, because he stood in there. He had a rock-hard forehead. I think I hit him in the teeth once as well, and I got the chest protector a couple times. But he soaked them. He stood in there. And then I fell over. He fell on top of me. We gave each other a quick little pat. Way to go, fella. Good scrap. Off to the box. See you later. He ended up going back to the bench to back up. I said, I'm leaving. I'm going for a coffee. But, yeah.
So there you go. You got to check that off your career stats wants list, your Christmas wish list. Finally got into a goalie fight.
Yes, sir. Actually, here's a story I don't think I've ever told you on the podcast. So when I was playing in Motor City, our boy Babs loved to fight. I mean, I got my first ever FPHL action because he fought one of the other guys in Watertown. Right, he was very notorious for this. And so when I got dished to Watertown, and Motor City was coming to town, I remember him and I texting me like, "Hey man, would you be interested in going? Yeah, let's put a show on for the fans. Like we don't have to hurt anybody." But just go up to center, stand in the pocket, and let's go have some fun. And obviously they dished me a week beforehand, so that never happened. But that would have been a good fight. Him and I were actually talking about that the other day. That would have been a really cool little meet up at center ice.
No kidding.
Don't you worry, dude. I'll beat your ass.
I always love the idea of like, yeah, well, let's go in there and have a little fun. That's all nice and fine. But once you start squaring off, nobody wants to lose.
No, of course not.
Nobody wants to lose. You're not throwing pillows.
Well, it's very primal. It's like this is like the most primal thing we could do is having an altercation. And like you said, nobody wants to lose, but we'll obviously never know what happened because I got traded for a Subway 6-inch sub combo and future consideration. So,
with dressing on the side, that reminds me of my old buddy Scott Jensen. We played hockey together through minor hockey, and every time there was a tryout, he and I were both the same size. We were 6'2", 200 pounds, and so they put us on opposite sides of the ice just to balance things out. And we made it a mission. If I caught him with his head down, he caught me with our head down. There was even in tryouts or inter-squad games or practice or whatever it was, there was no holding back. But we loved each other. I still love that guy. I talk to him on a regular basis. But when it comes to 1v1 competition, we're looking to take each other's heads off.
You have any footage of that?
No, God, no. Are you kidding me?
Not even like the old VHS camcorder?
Oh, maybe in black and white.
We can color grade it.
Oh, God. No, honestly, I think all that stuff's lost. I may be able to find... No, keep in mind, the great purge of 2018 and 2019 was not good for any of my I had tapes of radio shows that I did back in the late 80s, gone. All of them, everything. And any of that footage is just gone.
What do you think your record is for junior hockey fights?
I
had to guess.
I took a few, and I gave a few.
Took some and gave more.
Yeah. No, honestly, I probably 5-5, 10-10,
Any KOs?
No.
Never got knocked out? Never knocked out anybody?
Tyler Belk made a mess of my face. He played with the Vancouver Canucks for a little while. He was from Camrose, Alberta. He was a tough cookie, man.
Smacked you on the button and then down goes Brown?
Murphy. I still regret to this day. It was kind of funny. I think I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. Years later, he was playing with the Manitoba Moose. I was the in-house announcer for the Manitoba Moose, and he was doing a Q&A online. I'm like, hey, you beat me up back in the day. I want to go, I want a rematch. And he's like, come on down to practice. I'm like, oh, damn it. I was trying to be funny. He was serious. I forgot he has no sense of humor.
That's awesome. You see that there was an ECHL fight the other day between the Indy Fuel and Cincinnati Cyclones.
Mm-hmm.
These two dudes, absolute nail guns. They just stood in the pocket, feeding each other. They both knocked each other out at the same time. That's got to be the fight of the year.
It actually looked more like a lacrosse fight. Because when lacrosse guys fight, they get solid footing. There's no slipping around, and they just sit there and they throw haymakers. That's exactly what that reminded me of.
I feel like a lacrosse fight is the closest thing you're going to get to an actual street fight without the charges.
Street, yeah, but there's once a guy goes down, they treat it the same way as hockey. Once a guy goes down, you're done. You don't get on top and mount a guy and start, laying into him. The old ground and pound.
Well, that's a little unsportsmanlike.
Ground and pound till there is no sound.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, there's none of that in lacrosse. There still is there's an etiquette. There's there's the rules, the unwritten rules between enforcers or just fighters, and that once a guy goes down or once you get tangled up, it's done. And I appreciate that. But yeah, they hit solid because you're getting solid footing.
There was a whole lot of ground and pound, no written rules with that Biz Nasty fight though. We finally got the CCTV of the Biz Nasty fight at Houston's in Arizona.
Well, why don't we take a sponsor break and then we'll roll into that.
Yes, Jeremy's Razors, brand new sponsor. I'd like to welcome to the show. Give him a big warm welcome. And this is what makes Jeremy's Razors so great. Kick woke out of your bathroom. You don't need woke corporations inside your bathroom, inside your home. You don't need to support them because they don't actually care about you. Jeremy's does. And they have an incredible product. One of the problems that I've had trying to find a razor that doesn't support a big woke corporation is most of the products suck. With Jeremy's, they have an argon-infused oil into their actual lubricating strip, which is awesome. It has a pivoting head. And I have some of the most sensitive neck skin you'll ever find on planet Earth. So if I can go no razor burn and have a smooth shave, anybody will. Jeremy's Razors is the way to go. And they also have some incredible natural deodorant. They got coconut oil, shea butter, some great stuff in there. And this tea tree oil infused shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, the charcoal face scrub too. They have a whole line of products. You no longer have to give your money to these woke corporations that you hate. You can give your money to a company that actually cares about you and that you can sleep easy knowing that you're supporting only from the team at Jeremy's. You go to the link down in the video description, tap the link, there's no code, and get your Jeremy's Razors and hygiene products today.
Yeah, love it. Get it in your bathroom.
Also, no woman is ever going to take you seriously if you're using that 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash stuff. Separate it the way that it should be. Get Jeremy's today.
Very nice.
Welcome to the show, Jeremy's. The Biz Nasty fight, though. What do you think about that?
Well, look, we've talked a lot about this over the past month or so, right from that first video that came out. We actually reacted live to it on our Clips channel if you want to go check that out. But I will kind of recap what we saw, and I know we'll run a little bit of the footage here for people watching on the YouTube version. But the only thing I will say is when Biz first told the story, and keep in mind he had the visible bruises on his face. It was shortly after the dust up. He made it sound like he was coming in and going like, hey, these guys are getting a little rude with the staff, and, I like the staff there. So I just kind of went over to say, hey, guys, watch the way you're talking. He came in guns and fire, like guns ablazing. He came in hot, and I don't blame him. I'm not saying what he did was wrong. And he took care of business. Like, he stepped in, he stuck up for if they don't give him free meals at Houston's for, like, a lifetime, or at least a few pops every time he comes in, something's wrong. Because I love the fact that he went and defended his local watering hole. Those Irish bums looked pretty bad when they were getting interviewed by the cops after. And I got to give Biz credit, man. Right from the first shot that he dodged, he set up well. Like, the guy's been in enough dust-ups. He knows how to handle himself. But taking down, what was it, 7 guys we counted?
Six going on with 7, but
unbelievable. Yeah, no, handled himself well. Even when he was on his back, we saw a little Brazilian jiu-jitsu come out in him. He was squaring off. He was walking on his shoulder blades, moving around. He looked like a 2-bit stripper out in the parking lot with the amount of clothes that he lost. But boy, oh boy, did he ever earn that money.
Man, lifetime free drink salads and up to 3 salad modifications per visit.
Yeah. Well, look, in this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets banned from Houston's.
Why is that?
Well, you started a fight in our restaurant. I'm not sure we can let you in here anymore, but I'm pretty sure the staff is going to go to bat for him. He did the right thing, sticking up for the crew.
Hopefully that's not the case. Yeah, that was super impressive. He took him. Like he said, he gave some, or he took some, but he gave even more.
Yeah.
Great stance. You mentioned the BJJ, pivoting around on the shoulder blades, keeping them at arm's length, not getting KO'd by the kicks. Also, the dude shooting high kicks, like he's kicking 50-yard field goals and missing 3/4 of them.
Yeah, he was a Vegas showgirl out there.
Apparently, they didn't show up to the court date. They had a lawyer turn up to the court hearing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Irish travelers, Irish scumbags, they do this. They go from town to town, kind of like old school pimp style. And if you've seen the video, if you're on the video version of the show, man, like a pack of hyenas on him, but he's just defending himself and You can see him dropping punches, connecting right square in the face. He knocked out the one guy that clip wasn't on the video because it was hidden behind a tree.
I love the one guy who was trying to explain. He's like, this guy's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's coming up. He's got tattoos everywhere. And, trust me, if you saw the two of us together, you wouldn't be thinking that I'd be the one starting to fight with him.
3% body fat, too. Don't forget that comment. Not a lick of fat on him.
Man, he big hair and beard. And, but he was a tough son of a gun. He was.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to give legal advice. I know Biz says he wants to go KO these guys behind a barn somewhere and he'll drop all charges. If I saw them with the Dwayne The Rock Johnson comment, 3% body fat, good looking, tattoos, I'd probably drop the charges on that one guy.
That's comments my ringtone now.
Put it as every single ringtone.
No, honestly, look, I've said it right from the get-go. If that was my local watering hole, I certainly hope I would have done the same thing and stepped up and tried to defend the honor of the people that I support on a weekly basis or a daily basis from the sounds of it. No, good on Biz, man. I'll say it again. He represented hockey well. He represented Canada well. He represented himself well. He represented that podcast well. Kudos to Biz. Nice job.
How could you not like him after a situation like that?
Right?
Plus 10 gold stars.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you ever heard the one story about Keith Yandel tells a really great story about when Biz was the Coyotes and they wanted to send him down and just get rid of him for life.
Why?
So
he's a bubble guy, I guess, right?
He was a bubble guy. This is probably like 2010, 2011. He's kind of up and down. This is when his Twitter was taken off. And the Coyotes GM, I think it was Don Maloney at the time, says, we got to get rid of this Biz Nasty guy. Like, the tweets are too much. The eating hot dogs in the press box and posting pictures of it. The guy fights, but he's more of a distraction. We got to get rid of him. The captains in the Coyotes went out to the office and said, you can't get rid of this guy. Why? He doesn't do anything. Well, who's going to play music?
He's a glue guy.
He's our DJ. He keeps the morale high. The tunes are flowing. He's got a good playlist. You can't get rid of the guy. And that bought him 3 more years in Phoenix.
I think the best thing he did on social media was when he did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and hired the helicopter to go dump a whole bunch of ice water in the mountains on him. I just thought that was brilliant.
Was that in Whistler?
I think it was somewhere on the West
That
Coast,
was an awesome clip. Remember that one going viral? So next level. And it was a big pail of ice he dumped, or was it a small bucket from the chocolate?
No, it was a big full-on tub of ice water right outside of the helicopter. No, that thing looked awesome. That was cinematic.
Yeah, Biz is the legend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who he scored all of his NHL goals with? I got it right here. Some iconic, legendary names.
Go for it.
First NHL goal, Carey Price. Not bad. Dwayne Rolison, Roy the goalie. Vesa Toskala, Leafs and Flames legend, Sharks legend as well. Justin Peters, the pride of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Antti Niemi, Stanley Cup champion. U.S. All-American, Ryan Miller. That's not a bad list.
No kidding.
And a game winner against a friend of the show, Jonas Enroth in Buffalo.
Was Biz ever a World Junior guy?
I don't think so. He was a good junior player. He played for, I think it was Saginaw with the Spirit.
Yeah.
But he never played for the World Juniors.
No, he didn't, eh? Interesting. I want to talk about them a little bit later, but let's stick with goaltending for a second because you mentioned a couple of Maple Leafs goaltenders, and holy moly, have they got just an embarrassment of riches in the pipes right now.
All of a sudden, coming out of nowhere. It seems like goaltending is the strength of the Leafs. Does it not?
It does, and I mean, I know you're a little biased, but your boy Muzz, Matt Murray, down there playing for the Marlies right now, he's kind of the odd man out. Who would have thought 2-time Stanley Cup winner is the odd man out when it comes to the Leafs goaltending situation right now?
Imagine being the GM for an American League team and you have a 2-time mug champion as your backup for the Toronto Marlies. I'm still hoping for him. I still think that he should be the backup to Stolarz. You got a 2-time Cup champion. Guy's seen everything and been everywhere. I think you got to have that. But
here's where I think there's 2 ways that Muzz gets back into the lineup with the Leafs. One of 2 ways. Number one of those guys goes down with an injury. Muzz is back up like that. Or the Leafs look at it and go, okay, we've got Muzz down there in the American League. We can pull him up at any time. What final piece are we missing? We go with either Stolarz or Walls. Take your pick. Flip a coin, whatever you want. Take one of them, and the other one is great trade bait for whatever missing piece you want. Like, you can have your pick of almost anybody that's a non-contender to take one of their pieces and finish off your roster and go on a playoff run.
I wonder if they're riding it out to see who's going to do better between Wall and Stolarz. Wall makes way more money than Muzz right now because Muzz signed for, I think, $900,000. Wall's making, I think, 2, maybe 3. Mm-hmm. Let that guy play it out, get his value to go up, trade him, dish him, bring Muzz up. Boom, he just freed up $2 million of cap space. Mm-hmm. That seems like a great idea. But, dude, Stolarz has been stealing the show the last little bit. I mean, 38 of 39 against the Devils. He's rolling a .927 save percentage. Only Philip Gustafsson and Connor Hellebuck have better stats than Anthony Stolarz right now. Good looking, 6'6", making all the big saves, timely, in control. He's the man. He's probably going to be a Vezina front runner right now.
It's crazy. I think the Eastern Conference is going to be a tough one to get out of. I mean, once the Caps get Ovi back in the new year, I mean, they're strong. I mean, they're fighting for tops in the league right now between the Wild and the Jets. And East is going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good hockey teams in the East.
I know you don't like the Leafs. I'll put this out there. If they wear those black jerseys, their home jerseys for the playoffs, I would consider hopping on the bandwagon. Those are some nice jerseys.
I'll wait for you as you drive away.
But what if the Jets had some black jerseys? That would be nice too.
I don't think that fits the scheme. That's never been incorporated at all. If anything, they would probably go back to the heritage jerseys with the dark blue inside. But
old school 90s Jets logo, JET with the hockey stick for the Jets for the J, and black. That could be crispy.
If anything, they will go closer to what, I mean, because again, heavily influenced by 17 Wing here in Winnipeg, which is one of our Air Force bases. So if anything, they're going to go closer to the old Royal Canadian Air Force look. I don't think they'll go anything black.
Here's a cool little Anthony Stolarz story for you, though. So people see the overnight success and like, where did this guy come from? He came out of nowhere. So he was drafted by the Flyers. He was playing for the Flyers, played 2 seasons as the backup, kind of up and down a bit. The Flyers said, we're not going to re-sign you because you're never going to play another NHL game again. See you later, buddy. We're going to cut our losses. He signs in Edmonton. Well, I guess he got traded to Edmonton, played a couple games, signs with the Ducks, backs up John Gibson, plays great for 3-4 seasons, also playing in Southern California, not a bad gig. Signs in Florida, backs up Bobrovsky. Now, I was kind of concerned when Neon Leon torched him in Game 6 coming in for relief for Bob. I'm thinking, man, I don't know, man, maybe this guy isn't the real deal. And he says, listen, Trav, go back to open up the door for $125 a week in the Fed. I can start. And he comes in and he lights the world up on fire. $927 for a dude that everybody thought was not going to be a starter this season. Maybe he wins the job. It's probably going to be Joseph Woll. Man, Anthony Stolarz, you got a fan of me. I would love, if anybody wants to get me something nice for Christmas, I would love a black Anthony Stolarz Leaf jersey. I wouldn't pay for it myself, but if somebody has some extra change kicking around, I'd love that.
Yeah, I think the Leafs are in a really dominant position when it comes to having chess pieces on the board when it comes to coming up to the trade deadline.
So you wouldn't join me for joining the bandwagon if they wore the black jerseys for playoffs?
No. If they were the last Canadian team left, no.
So a cup final, let's just throwing it out there, Leafs versus Oilers.
No.
Oilers?
It would be Oilers.
Leafs versus Ducks.
Ducks.
Really? How about the fact that the Ducks, and this pisses me off so much, they're wearing orange buckets with white jerseys. Why?
Well, Team USA has been wearing the white buckets all the way through, whether they're wearing their home or away jerseys. And I never liked it, and I've gotten used to it. It reminds me a lot of junior hockey, where you would just wear the dark helmets, and those would go along with your home and away jerseys.
We only had the budget for one helmet.
Right. I remember once upon a time where you would take a white helmet and a blue colored helmet, and you'd take the Cooper ones, you'd take them apart, and then you'd get both. You remember those?
One side black, one side white?
Well, it was like the front was white, the back was for, the different colors for whatever team you were. I didn't mind those for a while, but I wouldn't mind it if they got rid of the white helmets altogether. But I think for the sake of a game that happens within a split second, you look up and you're just looking for color sometimes, not necessarily personnel. I think they have to stick with different colored helmets, whether that be white and then the colored helmets. So white sticks with your white jerseys, colored helmets with colored jerseys. Just makes more sense. It looks odd because we're not used to it, but keep in mind, the LA Kings were wearing those
chrome dome
stormtrooper looking things, and man, were those distracting.
I don't hate those. The matte finish ones, I like those ones.
The matte I'll take. The NFL went with matte. I remember the Minnesota Vikings wearing the matte, and I like that. It takes the reflection off from the lights that are going on in the arena or wherever they're playing. But those shiny chrome dome looking ones, oh man, I don't know.
I don't mind the look because it comes from Europe, though. If you're the top scorer on the team, you wear like big, shiny chrome dome buckets. So everybody knows that guy leads the team in scoring. I also thought, too, like if you have like a middle-of-the-pack team without a superstar, that bucket's shuffling around every single week. Think of the bacteria in that thing by the end of the season.
Ugh.
5 guys have worn the chrome dome,
Ugh.
leading scorer on the team.
Yeah, well.
Just focusing on that one guy, just box that guy out.
Just make sure you're wearing flip-flops when you go in the shower.
Oof. Yeah, if you're not wearing flip-flops in the shower, you are an animal.
Dude.
That's a fine. $5. See you on Tuesday in court. By the way, did you see that clip of Berube trolling the media about their outdoor practice the other day? It was like minus 20, minus 22 in Toronto, had the outdoor skate. He ponies up to the podium and says, how you guys doing? You guys cold out there? I wore a T-shirt.
Still tough as nails, man.
Oh, I wouldn't talk back to that guy. Man, that guy's got to be wearing sheath underwear when he's out there.
Yeah,
staying warm.
That would keep him warm for sure.
It's the ultimate holiday stocking stuffer. The ultimate gift this holiday season. What do you get Dad for Christmas? A set of drills, a hammer, and some gitch. Get him some sheath underwear. It's the gift that keeps on giving. They got the dual pouch. It's a separated, segregated compartment for your biscuits, for your cannolis, the bocconcinis, everything to go where it needs to be, not touching peeling it off the side of your leg like a piece of gum off an old high school desk, or you ever seen like under the hockey benches, you peel off some gum? That's disgusting. Don't do that. Get Sheath. They're bamboo mesh. They're new and improved bamboo mesh. It's cooling. It's comfortable, better than ever before. Go to the link in the video description of the show. Click on that link. Code BIZKIT69. That's BIZKIT 69. Your favorite number for 20% off. The greatest underwear the money's ever bought, and the best investment you'll ever make.
Throw something in for the ladies, too. They got a whole ladies line with the sports bras and the booty shorts and thongs, and they got everything there, too. Bamboo mesh as well. So, yeah, throw something in for the lady in your life, too.
Or if you want to save a couple bucks this holiday season, get yourself some, but then tell her that it's for her as well, because she'll want to wear them as well. So you bought yourself and her a gift.
Wow.
That's playing chess when everybody's playing checkers.
Well done.
That's well done. Thanks to Sheath for sponsoring the show, by the way. As always, we've got the World Juniors coming up right now. And we're going to talk next week a little bit more about the death of the World Juniors and kind of the decline with all the scandals and whatnot going on. But we got to give a shout-out, though. Manitoba boy, Carberry, Manitoba, just outside of Brandon, where my dad was born. Carson Bjarnson, possible starting goalie. They're going to announce the roster in a couple days from the time we're recording this episode. He could be the starting goalie. You know the last time that Team Canada had a goalie from Winnipeg? Well, from Manitoba, I should say.
Oh, wow. No, I couldn't even give you an educated guess.
It was one of the Pickard brothers. You know which one?
Cam.
No, it's there was Chet and Calvin. You know which one it was?
Chet
Pickard.
Okay.
Not Calvin Pickard, who's playing for the Oilers. Chet Pickard in 2009, backing up Dustin Tokarski. Carson Bjarnson could be the first one since then to come from Manitoba. By the way,
I would have gone back even further and said Trevor Kidd.
Ooh, iconic.
Yeah.
He was starter too. He wasn't even backup.
Yeah.
Great style, great bucket, iconic. But cool little story about Carson. I coached him a couple times when he was 10. I remember coaching a clinic, him being one of the goalies there, thinking this kid's 10 years old. Dude, this guy was skating better at me. He's 10 years old. He's got better skating edges than I did at 19, 20 years old. You kind of knew right then and there that he was going to be successful. But shout out to him. Hopefully he's starting goalie, and go Team Canada, as always.
I'll be honest with you, and again, like you said, we're going to touch on this next week, but I haven't even looked at the roster. I really haven't, and I think that's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, scandal aside, I think that has to do with the pandemic, getting canceled, getting shuffled inside the bubble. Like, I just don't hear people talking about the world. Like, there's just the excitement level isn't nearly what it was 10 years ago.
When I think you go to the outdoor rinks, you used to see everybody went with their Team Canada jersey to the outdoor rinks, and now they're wearing the McDavid, the Matthews. They don't wear the Team Canada jerseys anymore. I wonder if to some extent...
There's more talk about the Four Nations face-off than there is about the World Juniors.
Agreed. I wonder if to some degree it is a little bit of shame with just the way that Canada's trending on a downward direction right now, and people are like, I don't really want to wear that jersey. I'm not as proud of what's been going on the last little bit, which, again, we'll cover more in next week's episode, but it's a damn shame, man, because it's a great tournament, some great players, and brings everybody around the TV around the holiday season. But Boxing Day, noon start.
That was the big thing. There was Christmas and then Team Canada Day. It was Boxing Day / Team Canada Day kickoff to their tournament. And I mean, even the New Year's Eve game, the New Year's Day game, it was... I'll touch on this in next week's episode, but when it was down in Grand Forks, North Dakota, I mean, it was something special. It was 2 hours away here from Winnipeg, and it was amazing. That team that year had Shea Weber, Sidney Crosby, Nigel Dawes. I mean, the list went on and on of all the superstars that went on to play. Dion Phaneuf. Like, it was crazy how good that team was, and I just don't feel like it has quite the gusto that it used to.
I think part of that magic too is it really brings together that us versus them mentality. It's us, Team Canada versus them. Whoever they are, we are together. And I guess it kind of reflects the situation in the world where we don't really see as much of that anymore. Everybody's pretty divided, but...
I think they cared... North America cared more about the World Juniors, where over in Europe they cared more about the World Championships. But now I think the World Championships has more of a focus, even though it's right in the middle of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. It's just... Yeah, it's too bad. I hope it gets back to where it was. So, I really do.
Let us know. Call the voicemail line, the red line. There's a link in the video description. You can call in anytime, be a part of a future show. Let us know your 2 cents. Could be with the World Juniors, the show itself. Anything you want, call anytime, as often as you want. We'd love to hear from you. By the way, we got a big shout out. I got a big shout out. Winnipeg boy, Seth Jarvis, stud for the Carolina Hurricanes. He just finally upgraded his wagon. Was driving the 2023 Nissan shitbox. Now he got an Audi R. Oh, God.
You think it's the R8?
No, R8. It's the sports car.
The R8, the one that Tony Stark was driving around in Iron Man.
Yep.
Wow, I've been lucky enough to get behind the wheel of one of those once upon a time. That is a very dangerous machine for those that are not familiar with that kind of power. Man, is that thing a beast.
That dude's going to be picking up some ladies on the forks this summer.
That thing is... I'm honestly, the hair on my arms is standing up just thinking about getting into that vehicle. It is it is a wonder when it comes to engineering.
Seth, what do you say? Come on the podcast, take me and Dave for a rip in your new sports car sometime.
Oh, what a beautiful machine.
Pumped me for, I think, 6 goals in a beer league game, maybe like 3-4 years ago.
Seth, I will go to your boy, Mr. White. We'll call him that. I will go to him and I will make it very clear that you should not put more than 20,000 clicks on that thing, okay? You baby that thing. You baby that thing. Oh, what a beautiful machine.
Kind of reminds me of your dating career when you're playing junior hockey. I'll give you a quick little 40-second shift followed by 4 years of therapy. I'll pick you up in this nice car, send you on your way, quick little change.
Nobody was picking up their dates in an R8 in junior hockey.
Hey, when you're playing the show, you can do that. Shout out to Seth Jarvis, though. Proud of Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
We got some goalie stuff. This is some sad stuff. So we talked about Thatcher Demko. He's one of my favorite goalies above and beyond. If I had to pick, Hellebuck's up there, Demko's up there, probably Bob as well. But Demko is really one of my favorites right now. I heard from a very reliable source that knee injury that he's got, it's pretty much the same thing that Carey Price had. And if anybody knows about Carey Price, the second he hurt that knee injury happened with Chris Kreider, he came back, never was the same, played great, out for a year, played great, out for a while. It's just never the same. And it's such a shame because that guy's career was cut short probably by a good, 3, 4, 5 seasons just because of that?
Okay, this is a Tua Tagovailoa situation where you now have actual statistical data on what that looks like moving forward for the rest of your A, career, and B, your life, where Carey Price is still suffering the damage from that, where he's not unable to get up and down the stairs without pain. So I think Thatcher, if that's the case, I think Thatcher Demko has some really big decisions to make. Well,
if I could point out this too, we're talking about Carey Price, who's 6'3" on a good day, probably about 6'2", but 6'3". Demko, we're talking 6'6", way bigger, way more strain and torque through the center of all the bones and the limbs and whatnot. Demko also had double hip surgery in college. There's no more ligaments, there's no more impingements to fix with him. Carey Price didn't. So you're at basically the end of the lifespan of what you can do naturally to help the body to accommodate playing in the NHL for 50, 60 games a year, the physical demands on that. I hope that this isn't the end for him. I know he came back the other day. I thought he played pretty well against St. Louis, made some big saves. Stats didn't necessarily reflect that. But just to put into perspective, as a starter, pre-scamdemic, he's only had one season under a .915 save percentage. Every season, 40 games, 60 games, no matter what he starts, .915 and above. He was, I think, a Vezina candidate last year, him, Hellebuck, and Shesterkin. I bet you, I told you last episode, if he's starting in the playoffs last year for the Canucks, we're talking Florida and Vancouver in the Cup final.
You're not wrong. They had a much better shot, that's for sure. I think all the way back to a guy by the name of, you may have heard of him. His name's Bobby Orr, and I think he was the first well-known case of somebody who was just an absolute phenom that had bad knees. And Bobby Orr got out of the game probably a year or two too late, but has had knee problems ever since.
Well, they changed the game, though, because when he was driving to the net and rushing the puck out, they would just drive him to the net at the time when the nets were in the ice. They weren't moving them. Mm-hmm. The amount of issues with all that contact, man, that's a shame.
Yep.
And I hope Demko plays for a couple more years, a lot more years, because he's so great, so fun to watch.
Yep.
I know we love the Jets, but that Jets-Canucks game in January is piquing my attention. That one looks pretty good.
I think we're going to that game.
I think we might have to. Do a little video of the whole experience, get some food, get some hot dogs and whatnot. Well, maybe not the hot dogs, but try to find some.
Are you kidding me? We got to go with the jumbo jet dog.
That's true.
That's a must. That thing is gourmet.
Chili.
Pierogies.
Bacon bits.
Sour cream.
Caramelized onions.
Chives.
Green onion. Nacho cheese sauce.
Things this big.
In a brioche bun.
We might even have to split that.
Would you split it with me?
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah.
The Lady and the Tramp and just kind of...
meet in the middle, sure. Yeah, lots of napkins.
I got Pride Night coming up soon.
Okay, moving on.
By the way, you mentioned last week, I think it was, but streakers on the ice.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guys want to go because where are you going to get your contact from? Mm-hmm. Last time there was true streakers on the ice in an NHL game?
When?
1974, Vancouver Canucks, New York Islanders, 3. Beautiful gals came on the ice, tops off. Hey, fellas, and they got escorted off the ice. On the video version of the show, I'll throw a little picture up on there. Iconic.
There was a failed attempt, and I was actually reminded of this after we mentioned it on a previous episode, but when I was working in Lloydminster, Alberta, doing the morning radio show at 106.1 The Goat, that was the name of our radio station, The Goat, and there was a attempted streak by a gentleman who decided to get down to his socks and jump over the glass, and unfortunately he didn't make it all the way down. Well, he made it all the way down, just not the way you want to make it all the way down from the glass, and ended up knocking himself out, lying there, and nothing but his socks looking pretty goofy. And somebody reminded me saying, hey, you called his mom. And I went, oh my God, you're right. I forgot about that. I asked her to train me on how to be a streaker. Like, it's just really silly, old school prank phone calls and whatnot. But yeah, it was a failed attempt at the Saddle Dome of a guy trying to get out there and streak across the ice, and it did not end well.
Naked, just socks?
That's all that was left was his socks.
Was he full? Was he half? What kind of chub we talking?
There was a lot of blurring going on, but it hit all of the top 10s of the year, and he was never heard from again.
You know how, like, in the middle of the winter, like, if you lick a metal pole, it'll stick to it?
Yep.
I wonder if that happened as well. Because sometimes we get a little moisture on the tip. Sticks to the ice?
He landed on his back, luckily.
Oh, okay. That's why they were censoring everything.
Yes.
Tough bounce. Well, there's your lifetime ban.
Oh, poor guy. Poor guy.
Cut of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of streaking, how about a streak? Well, we got a couple streaks to talk about, but cut of the week is brought to you by Brisket Jerky USA. They've been a cut above the rest since 2022, whether we're talking about their original brisket jerky, the maple bacon jerky, their incredible snacks, the white chocolate espresso-covered popcorn, incredible, or your favorite trail mix.
Oh, the trail mix is great, but the jerky, I know what you're thinking jerky. You're thinking of like that gas station jerky where you got to like tear into it like it's rawhide. No. This stuff is brisket. It literally falls apart in your mouth. It is fantastic. And my two boys went through that quicker than I could say, holy crap, you ate the whole thing.
Elvin, we need another box. But so the cut of the week, highlights that we choose that we think are awesome. What do you got for this one?
I'm going back to Laine, man. I know I had him a couple of weeks ago, but man, he is looking good in a Habs jersey.
Yeah.
Is he not?
Well, you got that little shootout winner, a sneaky little finish against the Ducks.
That looked good. I'm telling you, I think he is a great fit in Montreal.
Big guy, too. You know what? I'll be honest with you. He strikes me as a guy with square wheels.
What do you mean?
Look.
He has got hockey players have the best looking girls. I don't think
he is a beautiful girl, by the way.
I don't think he even needs to have any game off the ice because he's got it on the ice.
But he strikes me as a guy that maybe couldn't pull the strings and kind of work that charm.
Doesn't need to.
He's got a good looking girl, a little hot mama riding in the shotgun. That's not bad.
Yeah, he's the insurance premium on him is low. He goes back and plays Fortnite all night. He's good.
Think he asked her to come play Fortnite?
Probably. Yeah, she's probably a gamer too.
Ooh.
Betting odds are they game together and that's where they met.
Man, he met her on like an Xbox clan or something like that.
Probably.
I think that's what they call it, right? A clan, like when you're playing together?
This is all speculation, by the way.
No, this is confirmed. Heard it here first. I got Tom Wilson.
Oh, man.
Puck off the face, comes back, buries 2 goals, see you later, throw the dagger in. And then he comes back, he's on the live broadcast. Hey, what did you think of your injury? I haven't quite seen it until now. It doesn't look so great, does it? Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, my dad said, yeah, if you're not injured and you can't play, or you can still play, just keep going. And that's exactly what he did. Nail gun. That guy eats a lot of beef jerky.
Man, I'll be honest with you. It's funny. Whenever you mention the name Tom Wilson, I automatically associate him with like a Biz Nasty, who we talked about earlier, kind of a bubble guy. He has stretched out a really good career for being a guy that would kind of usually fall into that category of he's a problem child. He takes misconducts. He does stupid things out there, but he still manages to stick around, and the Capitals love him.
I think he's probably the face of the team. I know it's Ovi's team, but
with that big jaw?
Literally, the face of the team. Stanley Cup champion. Also dating. You know who he's dating?
No.
Maybe married to. Winnipeg gal. Team volleyball, Team Canada, Taylor something. I can't remember her name.
No kidding.
Yeah, he comes back here to Grand Beach every single summer to spend time with the missus.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, Toronto boy and a Winnipeg gal.
I don't normally keep track of who they're dating. I keep track of more of what they're doing on the ice. But hey, good for him. Winnipeg girls, the best in the entire country. Montreal has the most 10s in the entire country, but Winnipeg's got more 8s and 9s, and I'll take an 8 or a 9 any day of the week.
I thought you were going to say Winnipeg has more 3s.
No, 8s and 9s. That's all we got.
That's why we talk about Earls at 300 Main. You don't like mediocre food and above average women?
That's my favorite.
I love that. Mediocre hot wings?
Give me some of the albino rhino. I'll take that every time.
Ooh, take a little ride in the old baloney pony, saddled up. Speaking of the baloney pony, Brisket Jerky USA, go to the link in the video description, click on that link, 10% off with the code BISCUIT, get some amazing beef jerky, road trip snacks, that white chocolate espresso popcorn. My God, it's great. Dave loves the trail mix. And thanks to Brisket Jerky USA for sponsoring this segment
Cut of the week.
The show. Yes, cut of the week. Happens every single week. Couple quick notes here. We talked about T-Swizzle, Taylor Swift. Do you know where she stayed during her tour?
Wherever she wanted.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Which hostel did she stay in? Who was she splitting a bunk with?
So in Vancouver, she stayed at the Hotel Georgia, which, to be honest, a beautiful hotel. I was kind of shocked. It's kind of you're starting to get into the nice hotels. I would have thought the Waterfront Hotel, the Pan Pacific maybe, but there's a lot of traffic there, so maybe that makes sense. The Paradox, that's the tallest hotel in the city, or maybe Wall Center, maybe even the Hotel Vancouver on the top penthouse floor. She stayed at the Hotel Georgia in Toronto. This makes sense. She got the whole penthouse at the Four Seasons Hotel in downtown Toronto. That makes sense. Also, do you know where they moved all the homeless in downtown Vancouver?
Out to the middle of the ocean?
Well, they probably wanted to. Maple Ridge. They bust them on out. Get on over there, fella. And then when she was gone 2 days later, come on back. We don't care. You can take out the whole downtown east side.
Man, what an example. That just to show you how much Taylor Swift, what kind of bravado she has, and what kind of, look at it this way. They did the same thing for Taylor Swift that they did when they brought the Olympics in. They did the exact same thing. They tried to clean up their areas before all the people started coming in. They did that for the Olympics and for Taylor Swift, and that's it.
You know what? It blows my mind because everybody's talking about how she stimulated $100 and some odd million into the economy of Toronto and Vancouver. Look at the hotel prices. The second she announced it, hotels went up $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a night for a shitty bungalow or a shitty little bunk bed. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's where all the money's going. There's nothing else coming to the economy. You're moving out the homeless people for these people to come and see, and also for Taylor Swift to see that, oh, we don't have the entire downtown east side being run by homeless encampments. Yay, it's so great.
Shout out to my morning show co-host, Tyler Carr, who managed to get to and from the show in Vancouver.
$40?
For $250 total, including flight.
Was it $16 for the tickets or $40?
It was the tickets plus tax came to just under $40. He managed to get day of tickets, obstructed view, but they ended up moving seats once they got in there.
Yep.
They got last minute tickets, and then he had buddy passes for him and his boy, and they flew out to Vancouver and back. No hotel. They flew the morning of, stayed overnight at the hotel because they had an early morning flight back to Winnipeg. And
the hotel or the airport?
At the airport. They didn't even hotel. So airport, Swift show, airport, there and back, $250.
I got to give you a quick shout out though to you ever heard of Penthouse, the nightclub in Vancouver?
Yes.
Off Seymour Street?
Yes.
They have
that's where you get to see more.
They have some incredibly creative signs out front. I don't know if anybody in Vancouver's ever noticed, but during the scamdemic,
It's an exotic dance club, for those wondering.
It's probably the equivalent of the Roxy, right? But maybe less well known. But they had a sign during the scamdemic that said, "Hey, longest 2 weeks ever, huh?" I thought that was funny. For the Taylor Swift weekend, they had take it off. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's a great way to get into a nightclub. Take it off. I like that. What else do we have here? By the way, shout out to Paul Maurice, your boy, one of your favorite coaches, winningest coach of all time for the Jets, Hurricanes, and now the FLA Panthers.
He and I share something in common when it comes to our vision. Neither of us can see out of one eye.
He's missing an eye?
He's not missing his eye. Same kind of situation. He was playing junior and took a I think it was a stick. But yeah, he lost vision in his eye as well. Wonderful human being, man. When he was in Winnipeg, whenever I bumped into him, it was always a pleasure. And I love seeing the clips of him mic'd up or the talking in the dressing room. Like, there's not a single player that wouldn't go into battle for that guy. Like, he's just well-spoken. You can tell he really cares. And it makes sense that he's going to become, he may even, if he keeps doing this, and I think Paul's smart enough that he's going to pick a date and go, I'm pretty sure I want to retire after this point. But there's a chance he could take over most wins. Because keep in mind, he started coaching when he was in his 20s. So, I mean, I think that record, that Scotty Bowman record could be in jeopardy if he decides to go that deep.
Also, some great-looking kids. Great-looking daughter, too. She's a good-looking gal.
Easy. That's Paul Maurice you're talking about.
Let me ask you this. Greatest coach of all time?
Well, you got to go with Scotty Bowman.
You think that's your pick?
Yeah.
I'm going with Jules Winfield.
Why? Oh, Samuel L. Jackson, baby.
Greatest coach of all time.
Not bad. If
you're on the video version of the show, I'll put the clip on there. You'll get it. Make a lot more sense. But yeah, iconic to say the least.
Well done.
I've never seen anybody talk about this. Have you ever heard of the 99er, the Wayner?
Yeah. Never ordered it, but I know of it.
The Wayner coffee. So if you don't know, the Wayner is the 99, split it in half, 9 cream, 9 sugar. That's an iconic Wayner coffee.
Diabetes in a cup.
A little bit of coffee with your custard. Well, I guess there's no eggs in there, so cream and sugar. But
your spoon will stand straight up in that thing.
Didn't you say that Gretzky? There's stories coming out that he was hanging out with like KGB guys.
Okay, so yeah, he's kind of doing a lot of tours on podcasts now and whatnot, and it's popping up in my algorithm. But he told a story, and I won't get all the details right. But when they were playing the Canada Cup, he invited a few of the guys over to his mom and dad's house. KGB followed the guys there. He snuck a few of the guys down the base, like, hey, come down to the basement and see all my awesome trophies and stuff that my dad's kept and whatnot. And then let's have some beer while the KGB guys were upstairs. Like, it's cool. And it's kind of funny because, it's Wayne Gretzky was so well insulated while he played that nothing bad came out about him while he was playing. But now that he's older and, he's all the chains are off, he's telling these really cool kind of stories back in time. And I love it. I think it's great.
I'd be curious to see what kind of comes out about Crosby, McDavid, the real superstars of today.
We'll have to wait just as long, man. We'll have to wait just as long.
I think those won't disappoint.
I don't think so. I think there will be cool stories like that as well. We just got to flush them out. That's all.
You see that new Gretzky commercial popping around on TV, the cable networks lately?
Popping around?
Yes.
it's popping all right.
Well, so basically, it's like a knockoff Viagra. If you haven't seen it,
ED medication. Yep.
Yeah, basically. And there's a doctor. Is everybody's Gretzky working? Is your Gretzky working? And this old dude's like, my what? Your Gretzky. Yeah, I know Gretzky. Ask your doctor today for more. It's pretty funny. I enjoyed it. Then the camera zooms out and it's Wayne with a clipboard asking if everybody's Gretzky works. Because make sure your Gretzky's
it's clever.
Getting down deep in the corners.
Yeah, I want to make sure you're getting them up in the top shelf.
Ooh, where Mama keeps the cookies. Ooh, I like that. I like that. We mentioned it last week. We forgot to finish on it, but the Rink of Dreams, what a shame that is.
Okay, so listen, I am one of those people, and I'm sure there's a lot of you around Canada and around northern parts of the United States where I built a hockey rink in the backyard. We could actually throw up, this is back in my old place, you can throw up pictures of you like, I went all out. Not only did I build a hockey rink, I built a curling rink. I was out there like an a-hole in my boots, watering the backyard in the middle of December when it was cold. And man, did we have a time. We threw a little bonspiel out back, and it was amazing. It was and I always said, if you're going to live in a climate where it's cold, you have to embrace it. You can't hide inside for the entire year. So this dude out in Markham, Ontario, decided to build a rink and thought, I love this. The kids are enjoying it. The neighborhood kids come around. Parents come over. It's becoming a bit of a gathering place, especially during the pandemic. So he went all out and he bought professional boards. He bought professional underlay. Like, he really built this rink, and he had the room to do it in this middle of this community in Markham, Ontario, and they shut him down. He had no noise complaints. Oh, God. And not only did they shut him down, they said if he doesn't take it down, they will go in and take it down for him and charge him $350,000 to do it. Like, this is insanity. Like, what is this? We do not live in a communist country. He even said we're not staying out there. Like, it's not like we have floodlights and we're staying out there till 2 o'clock in the morning like a bunch of drunks. Like, this blows my mind. Like, wow, hey, how about an opportunity where we can go outside and exercise and enjoy the fresh air and enjoy life as it is? No. Oh, God, it boils my blood.
Well, what about the neighbors? Like, they're calling the snitch line during the scamdemic. This guy's got too many people over. He's skating. He took the backyard, which was just trees and shrubs, mowed it all down, built the rink, and gave people an opportunity to go play hockey, get some exercise, and get outdoors and socialize a bit during this fake pandemic where you weren't allowed to go to the gyms or do anything. He's doing something good for the community, getting people having a little sweat on. And the neighbors call the snitch line. He's breaking the rules. Have people come here. And he has all the COVID cops coming down. And now that all that's gone for the time being, guys are still coming out skating. He's giving people an opportunity to go and skate outdoors in his beautiful, stunning setting, the Rink of Dreams. A lot of influencers gone there. I would love to personally go there. Obviously, we're not going to get to now. And now the city says, we've had a lot of complaints. Take it down, like Dave mentioned, or we're going to bill you $350 and we'll do it for you.
Unbelievable. Like, I don't use the word a lot, but I'm disgusted by that kind of behavior from the township.
Imagine if they did that to Walter Gretzky. We don't have Wayne Gretzky. I had an outdoor rink when I was a kid. I remember from when I was probably 9 years old until 13. Every year, my dad and I built an outdoor rink.
Oh, it is part of our culture to skate outdoors on a backyard rink. Whether you're a toddler, you're a Timbit, whether you're a teenager. I played hockey with guys that could stick handle in a phone booth because they grew up stick handling on little tiny wading pool size rinks because they just got be able to stick handle so tight because they're playing with their brothers and their friends and whatnot. This breeds a really good culture. It breeds exercise. My parents used to always say, go get the stink blown off you. You've played enough video games. Get outside. Oh, sorry, there's nothing to do outside because the township shut down our rink. Terrible.
Would you agree this is a reflection of the city of Toronto? That Toronto, this is why Toronto gets the reputation that it does.
Well, it is Markham. Let's not blame it. It's part of the GTA. I get it, but it was specifically Markham, Ontario that said you're not allowed to have fun.
Center of the universe. You'd have to pay me a good amount of money to live in Toronto.
Oof,
I couldn't do it.
Which is why I won't cheer for the Leafs.
I do like the black jerseys, though.
which is why I won't cheer for the Leafs.
Okay. You want to do the voicemails?
Sure.
Got some voicemails in the box. You want to check them out?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, we have a new voicemail line. It's called the Red Line. You want to be a part of the show. You call anytime, anywhere, about anything, whatever you want. Leave a voicemail, and you'll be part of a future show.
Guys, you got to do sex before games. I used to use it, de-stress me, go into the game just mentally clear, and literally a little workout worked out great for me. I wonder if any other goalies do it.
Goalies or players? What do you do when you're playing?
For as far as pregame,
Yeah.
music. I had a very specific playlist that it was a playlist. It was a CD. It was a cut CD, but I had a very specific playlist that I would listen to before getting to the rink.
You can get a quick shift in before you came down?
Okay.
That's what he was asking.
Next call.
All right.
Got a quick question for you. I'm kind of panicking here. I got my dick stuck in the Sheath underwear hole, bro. The old lady was over here rubbing and tugging. It's stuck, bro. It's not coming out. You know, I'm flaccid now, but it's stuck in the hole. What do I got to do? Cut it off? Cut it around my junk? I don't know. I'm scared.
That's a good problem to have.
Yep. I'm telling you, you might want to start an OnlyFans page.
I think we should get him some merch. Send me a message. We'll get you some merch for that one. That was a good call. I like that one.
Can I get a Hoya?
Okay.
Great.
Wait, oh. Hoya. Give the people what they
I'm
want.
currently at a hockey game, and I just saw your fight that you just had on YouTube. Dude, why are you losing fights? Trav, you're no, I'm not going to call you a loser, but dude, you got to win that fight, man. I'm with my friend Ethan. You have anything to say? Win more fights.
So again, this falls under the old umbrella of he who lands on top wins fight. The other guy didn't even throw a punch. How did he win?
I hit him a bunch of times. I tripped over him and he fell on top of me.
I don't
know if we're watching the same fight, but thanks for the call.
Hey, Trav. This is Brian Baylor from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
It was
hey.
a pleasure meeting you at the Iron City Forge game over the weekend. I think the goalie fight you had was fantastic. Also want to tell you that Slapshot is the greatest movie ever made.
Agreed.
But here's my question for you. What do you think is going to be your next fight? Is it going to be Biz Nasty, Jake Paul? And by the way, Dave, you have a big fan here in Pittsburgh from me. You guys take care. Love your stuff.
Much appreciated. Great call. Who are you fighting next?
Probably you.
I'm down. Let me know. We'll get the pads on or the skates on. Take your pick.
Next call.
I ain't afraid of you, big guy.
What's up, Trav? This is Tim from Longmont,
Hold on.
Colorado.
Pause the call. You know how in Forrest Gump, how Lieutenant Dan can only hear out of the one ear and not the other? Same thing. I'll just come sucker you on the one eye. That doesn't work.
You got magic legs, Lieutenant Dan.
What's up, Trav? This is Tim from Longmont, Colorado.
Hey, Tim.
My take is if you just keep focusing on the senior hockey game and maybe not forgive, but kind of forget some of the FPHL past. New teams come and go every year in that league. I'm sure you'll get another call very soon if you're willing to just keep grinding.
I totally agree with everything he just said. And I'll say this, I know we've talked about it in person. I don't think I've ever put this on the show. Stuff like that is hard to forgive. When you're in a situation with a team where you feel and you see every single day, like, I think they're taking advantage of me. It is hard to let that go, but that is part of the process. And I feel a lot better now than what I did a year ago. I mean, I even look back at old episodes a year ago. Like, I was pretty pissed off at how they treated me.
Yep.
But time heals all wounds and we move on, and that's just business, right?
Hey, Trav. Hey, Dave Wheeler. I absolutely love the show. I listen every Sunday morning. I've been listening for well over a year now. Actually, ever since you guys, Trav was doing the podcast with Pat Shea. I absolutely love those podcasts. And I honestly love more of the story time based stories now more than ever. I was the one that sent you the wedding invite and you sent me back player cards. I'm still very appreciative of that. The fact that you appreciate your fans, especially loyal supporters like myself. Only question I really have is, I was curious if you guys enjoy hot dogs. I'm assuming you guys do because you love big old cocks in your mouth.
Sully, I told you to screen this shit.
Great reference to a great movie.
Real quick, he sent me a wedding invite last year to.
By the way, our Trailer Park Boys were the studio guys in that scene.
Minus the glasses.
Yeah.
But I think Brady Miller was his name. He sent me a wedding invite. I think I got it late. I wasn't able to respond in time. Obviously, I wasn't able to make it to his wedding, but sent him out some merchandise cards. So congrats for getting married, getting hitched, and thanks for thinking of me. Sorry I couldn't make it, but yeah.
unfortunately, I'm kind of caught in this weird dilemma. My friend's sister is really into me, and I'm sort of into her. If my friend finds out, then I'm scared that it would risk my relationship with him, and he's been my best friend since we were 12. So just asking for advice. What do you guys think I should do? Do you think I should, go for it, or do you think I should respect my friend and his family and not go for it?
Okay, I'm going to answer your question, then I'm going to tell you a great story.
Please.
A great story. I'll tell you the story first, and then I'll answer his question, okay?
Well, the last caller said he comes for the stories, so.
All right. So this was probably about 17 years ago. And my roommate at the time was a Calder Cup winner with the Chicago Wolves. And it was summertime, and his mom was getting remarried, and he lived just outside of Regina. And he said, hey, he goes, my mom's getting married. I don't have a date. Do you want to come out and party the weekend? And I said, sure. He goes, we'll do some golfing. It'll be a great time. And I said, absolutely. So we hop in the vehicle and we drive all the way out, and we do some golfing. And when he and I golf together, we used to get in each other's kitchen quite a bit. And so he got under my skin. He said a few things. And I was like, you know what? I cannot wait to meet your sister at the reception tonight, because I am going to take her down. I'm going to just take her down and make her say my name. I was just really getting on his nerves right now. And I ended up beating him in golf, for the record. So fast forward to the reception. She comes. I'd never met her before. She comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, nice to meet you." Blah 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 blah. Keep in mind, his brother was also there golfing with us, so he went and snitched on me about what I've been talking. She goes, "So I hear I'm going to be having to say your name a lot tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, listen, hey, you got to understand that was just golf course guy talking. I apologize for that. Please don't think that there was." She goes, "Let's go have a few drinks."
Ooh, she had a tough childhood. I like that.
So we skipped out of the reception early and went back, and I just said, listen, I said, you got to get out of here before he gets back, because he and I were staying in the RV in the back, and he walked in later on that night and saw the two of us and falling asleep together, and it was a very awkward drive home on the way back to Winnipeg. I don't think he said a word to me for the first 3 hours. When he finally said, "Don't think you're special or anything," she slept with a bunch of my other buddies too. So to answer your question, I will say you really have to figure out if this is if you're just kind of into her and it's like, hey, we'll see how it goes, or are you in love with this girl? Because if you guys ever break up, you're breaking up with the whole family, and you and your boy will not be best friends anymore. But you got to approach it saying, I'm in love with your sister. I really want to see how this goes. And that means we could be brother-in-law. We could be brother. We could be part of the same family. But you got to really make sure if the juice is worth the squeeze, because if it goes south, then you lose your best friend too.
I'm impressed. You usually give the missus the 40-second shift and then 4 years of therapy. You gave him a 40-second shift and 4 years of therapy after that. I'll just say this.
What?
The fact that he's calling in concerned about this, he's a very respectful young man. This guy's going to go places. Mm-hmm. Whoever you are, whoever left that voicemail, you're going to be very successful because you're thinking big picture.
Mm-hmm. Let us know how it goes, by the way. Curious to know.
Call back in next week.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Give us an invite to the wedding.
I need to address the most important topic out there. It's something everybody's thought about at one time or another. Whether you're a man or a woman, you've thought about it. I don't know any normal, sane person who wouldn't max out every credit card they have to see Travis's OnlyFans page if he made one. Just take it all off.
You must have called in from Penthouse in Vancouver.
Man, you don't know how much mileage I've gotten out of using an OnlyFans. I made a guy blush the other day, and he goes, "Why do you look familiar?" I'm like, "Are you on OnlyFans?" And he's like, "What?" Yeah, so I get so much mileage out of this whole OnlyFans phenomenon. And truth be told, I've never been on the website ever in my life.
You can get all of it for free. Go to reddit.com/OnlyFans. You find everything. Anyway,
all right. Take us home, Trav.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. If you want to join the voicemail, be a part of the show, there's a link in the video description. You can call in anytime. Like we've always said, call out anything, whatever it is, as often as you want. You got you have 90 seconds to call in for that, and we'll get you into a future episode. My name is Travis Ridgen. I'm your favorite minor pro hockey goaltender. That's Dave Wheeler, top morning radio show in the city. He has hosted of Winnipeg for 21 years now. I look forward to next year saying 22 years.
Top morning show in Canada, just voted in by Broadcast Dialogue magazine. You can go check that out online. That's the absolute truth.
Not a big deal.
How about that?
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
For a two-piece, too. Most radio shows that win that get a three-piece. You're a two-piece.
Best morning duo music medium market in Canada, Broadcast Dialogue magazine. I'll take it.
You know, things are turning around here. You have the best morning show in all of Canada. I have the best stats in the entire FPHL. We're going.
And you're 1-0 in goalie fights.
And I've never taken any damage. I haven't lost any teeth. This beautiful smile. We'll see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. in Winnipeg, 9 a.m. in Calgary, and 8 a.m. in the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for watching. See you next week.